So the other day I was brainstorming some video ideas and I wanted to come up with 5 sort of pillars, 5 things that help our dogs to maybe avoid those unwanted behaviours and make them satisfied in their daily lives. And then it suddenly hit me that these 5 things already exist. Not only do they exist, they actually exist in legislation. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go through something that we know as the 5 freedoms. I'm going to talk about where they came about, how we can use these to help our dogs to show what their basic needs are, and how we can use these 5 things to improve their lives. Now, the genesis of these 5 things actually started in 1965 from the Farm Animal Welfare Council. So it started with farm animals, then it was also the basis for the Animal Welfare Act. Section 9 Part 2 encompassed this with all animals under our care, under human care. And more recently they were used to come up with the 5 domains of animal welfare. Now let's look at each one individually and let's see how looking at each of these domains for our pet dogs can improve their lives. Now our first domain is nutrition, meeting dietary needs for health. The 5 freedoms calls this freedom from hunger or thirst. The Animal Welfare Act says this is providing a suitable diet. This is pretty obvious on the surface. We know our dogs need food and water just like we do. But a suitable diet, let's have a look at that. Let's unpack what that actually means. Have you looked at the packet of your dog's food and does it contain everything they need to be a healthy animal and to live a long life free from nasty diseases? Now, I won't go too far into this in this video because I have another video that I've got a little bit further into, so you can watch that if you want to delve a bit more into nutrition. And unfortunately most of the stuff we buy for convenience to give our dogs for food isn't giving them what they need. Our next pillar is environment, to provide comfort and safety. The 5 freedoms calls this freedom from discomfort. The Animal Welfare Act calls it a suitable environment. So providing a safe environment, well, that's obviously what we need to do for our dogs. But let's think of their environment. Do you crate your dogs? How long are they left in a crate for? Do they have the room to move in that crate? Is your dog safely secure in a car? Are they left in a car in too warm conditions? These environments easily come into this pillar. But how about those words, the freedom from discomfort? For me, that's not just giving them a nice fluffy dog bed to sit in. For me, that's not wrapping a piece of rope around your dog's nose just because they won't walk on the lead. That discomfort may make your life a little bit more tolerable, but how about we put them in a nice comfortable harness and teach them actually how to behave in that environment in a positive way. The third domain is health, to ensure proactive and preventative care. The 5 freedoms call this freedom from pain, injury or disease. The Animal Welfare Act, protection from pain, suffering, injury or disease. Now a lot of dogs are very active and we can't wrap them in cotton wool and prevent them from injury all the time, but spotting that injury and getting it treated, dogs can hide it pretty well sometimes. So if your dog does come up with a behaviour that's kind of out of the blue, first thing you need to do is go and get them checked out for pain. So we could delve into this domain forever, thinking about what could affect pain, injury or disease. But we can also go back to the other domains. Think of nutrition. If we know that giving our dogs highly processed food every day for all of their lives is going to be at a higher cancer risk. If going back to environment, if our dogs are slipping and sliding all day on slippery floors, there's a very high chance when your dog's older, it's going to get arthritis. There are things we can consider, giving our dogs better diet, giving our dogs carpet runners on slippery floors, little bits just to improve your dog's life and prevent future problems. Our 4th domain is behaviour, ensuring natural behaviours. Our freedom is the freedom to express normal behaviour. The Welfare Act says ability to exhibit normal behaviour. But what is normal behaviour for a dog? It could be as simple as letting your dog sniff that lamppost for a bit rather than dragging them along because you want to carry on with your walk. It could be looking into what your dog was originally bred for and giving it an outlet to perform those behaviours so it doesn't go nuts. Some dogs' normal behaviours are to be destructive. Some dogs' normal behaviours are to control the environment. All dogs' natural behaviours are usually to chew, to lick, to sniff, to run, to chase, to rest, to sleep. And some dog behaviours might seem weird or even a little bit distasteful to humans, but yep, it's pretty normal to go sniff someone else's butt. So if we understand our dog's behaviour, understand when they're acting normally and when they're not acting normally, we can then be in a much better position to consider domain 5, mental state, to support positive emotions. The Animal Welfare Act talks about to be housed or be apart from others. But our fifth freedom is the freedom from fear and distress. Now, I think a dog's emotions are very much underestimated, unless you've lived with a fearful dog, and then you'll know how strong their emotions can be. Our dogs are masters at telling us how they feel, but we are not very good at listening sometimes. The way we listen to a dog is by looking at their body language, because that's how they're communicating. They show their signals, we just have to learn the language. So let's get into our dog's body language and see what they're trying to tell us. Let's have a look at the other bit though. Let's have a look at the freedom from fear and discomfort, and let's look at a lot of very, very popular training techniques. Using fear to get our dogs, well, to manipulate their behavior. Using the fear of pain, because they've been taught pain, to manipulate their behavior. How is that supporting positive emotions and their mental state? It can't be. How is that helping the bond and the relationship between you and your companion animal? It can't be. Okay, so let's not make it all doom and gloom. Let's use it as an opportunity. Let's take these 5 domains, take each one individually. So that's nutrition, environment, health, behaviour and mental state, and maybe do a bit of an audit and see how you think your dog is in each of these domains. Give yourself a pat on the back if you think you're doing well, and if there's one you think you need to make a tweak, make a bit of an adjustment. If you are experiencing a problem with your dog, maybe a behavioural problem, address these 5 things first. Have a look and see if there's something wanting in either of these categories. Maybe just a little tweak might be enough to help you out.